It is over for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. ADC presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has officially sued him, dragging him to the Federal High Court in Abuja over a certificate bearing the name Bola Adekunle Tinubu. And this is not the first time this exact question has landed in court. Nigeria and politics is going to show you every single lawsuit tied to this certificate saga. The 2023 case, the one filed in Kano this June, and now this fresh one, all in this video. And Nigeria and politics wants to give you some hope today, because this could finally be the case that determines whether Bola Tinubu is even allowed on the ballot in 2027. If this turns out to be true, it raises a serious question about the character of the man sitting on the highest stool in Nigeria. And here's the one thing that should give you real hope in this case. It is Atiku Abubakar leading this fight. Think about that for a second. This is a man who has been in the system for decades, a former vice president, a man who has held one political office after another, and who has contested for president in nearly every single election cycle this country has had. You know why that matters? Because insiders know their fellow insiders. Seasoned politicians know exactly how other seasoned politicians move, think, and cover their tracks. Nigeria and politics believes Atiku already understood every possible escape route Tinubu could try before he even filed this suit, because the two of them have known each other and studied each other longer and better than almost anyone else in Nigerian politics. And you need to understand the weight of this case, because it made Atiku personally swear an affidavit, putting his own name and signature behind every single statement in it. Stay to the end of this video, because what Nigeria and politics is about to reveal, no other political YouTube channel is bringing you. Subscribe to this channel right now if you love accurate, fearless reporting and if you want the truth, because at Nigeria and Politics TV, we don't fear the powerful, we expose them. If you are watching from Facebook or Instagram, please follow us. Let's get into it. Let's get the facts straight first, because this story is already spreading online in 100 different distorted versions. On Friday, August 14th, Atiku Abubakar and his party, the African Democratic Congress, filed a suit at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The defendants named are three: President Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, the All Progressives Congress, and the Independent Electoral Commission. At the heart of it is one constitutional provision, Section 137, subsection 1, paragraph J of the 1999 Constitution. In plain English, that section says a person is not qualified to be president if they have ever presented a forged certificate to INEC. Atiku's claim is that the Nysc discharge certificate submitted in connection with the 2023 and now the 2027 election bears the name Bola Adekunle Tinubu, not Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the name the president has used throughout his political career. The suit is asking the court to determine one simple but massive question: are these the same man or not? And if the certificate doesn't hold up, the suit asks the court to disqualify both Tinubu and the APC from the 2027 race entirely. Atiku has also asked INEC to produce something specific: Tinubu's Form CF001, the official candidacy form for both the 2023 and the 2027 election. That form is where the truth of this either gets confirmed or falls apart. Now, here's something Nigeria and politics wants you to sit with. Atiku didn't send a lawyer to file this quietly. He personally walked into the Federal High Court registry and swore an affidavit, his own name, his own signature, his own oath behind every fact in that filing. Tell Nigeria and politics something. A man does not do that for a stunt. In his own words, he said, "I came here personally because the issues before the court go to the heart of our constitution and the integrity of the office of president. I have therefore put my name, my signature, and my oath behind the facts we are presenting to the court. Now it is President Tinubu's turn to answer them. He went further, drawing a comparison every single working Nigerian will feel in their chest. He said Nigerian graduates cannot complete their NYSC documentation under one identity and then simply ask employers to overlook the discrepancy. That young people applying for ordinary jobs get their certificates scrutinized down to the letter and asked why that standard should suddenly disappear the moment the applicant is seeking the highest office in Nigeria. That's not just a legal argument. That's Atiku speaking directly to every Nigerian who has ever had to defend their own paperwork to get a job. And here's what most headlines are leaving out. This is not the first certificate battle around Tinubu, and it's not even the first one this year. Rewind to 2023. Atiku went to a United States court and successfully compelled Chicago State University to release Tinubu's academic records, arguing those records contained inconsistencies. Then, just this past June, a separate group called the Center for Reform and Public Advocacy filed its own suit, this time in Kano, again alleging Tinubu presented a forged Chicago State University certificate and a fake NYSC discharge certificate to INEC back in 2023. So, by the time Atiku's new suit landed on August 14th, this was already the third separate legal challenge tied to Tinubu's academic and service credentials. Tell Nigerian politics, when the same question keeps returning through 3 different courts, 3 different plaintiffs over 3 years, is that a coincidence or is that a pattern nobody in power has been forced to fully answer yet? Now here's the part of this story Nigeria and politics thinks matters even more than the certificate, because this is the part that affects every future election, not just this one. Buried inside Atiku's suit is a direct challenge to the Electoral Act 2026, a law passed by the National Assembly this year. Atiku and the ADC argue that this act contains provisions restricting the ability of candidates or parties to challenge a presidential qualification before the election even happens, pushing those fights to only be handled after the fact. Atiku's team is asking a direct constitutional question. Can a law passed by the National Assembly override an express provision of the Constitution itself? Their answer in their own words: nobody should misunderstand what is at stake. Our position is that the Constitution remains supreme. Think about what that means if the courts side with the Electoral Act instead. It would mean a sitting president's qualification could effectively become unchallengeable before an election, only reviewable after the man has already been sworn in, if at all. Tell Nigerian politics, does that sound like a loophole that just happened to appear or a wall being built on purpose? Nigeria and politics has to give you the full gist, not just one side. Atiku himself has been careful to frame this strictly legal, not political. His own words: we are not asking Nigerians to decide this matter on social media, and we are not asking INEC to become a court. We are asking the institution holding the records to produce them and the judiciary to examine the evidence and pronounce on it. He's also directly questioned the name discrepancy without declaring guilt outright, saying if the certificate belongs to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, let that be established before the court. But critics of this move will point out the obvious. Atiku is Tinubu's direct rival for the same office in 2027. Skeptics will argue this is a well-timed legal maneuver from a man who has now lost multiple presidential elections, using the courts to do what he couldn't at the ballot box in 2023. As of this video, the presidency and APC have not issued a detailed public rebuttal to the specific claims in this new filing. Nigeria and politics will update you the moment that changes. So, what actually happens from here? This case is now before the Federal High Court in Abuja. INEC has to decide whether to produce the requested Form CF001 documents. The court will have to first settle a foundational legal question: whether the Electoral Act 2026's restrictions can even stand against a direct constitutional provision before it ever gets to the substance of the certificate itself. And the clock matters here more than almost any other case in Nigeria right now. This isn't a slow-moving civil matter. With 2027 approaching, every week this case sits in court is a week closer to a ballot that may or may not include Tinubu's name on it, depending on how a judge rules. Nigerian politics will be tracking every single court date on this one. So, tell Nigerian politics, do you think Atiku actually has a real constitutional case here, or is this just a rival using the courts to fight a battle he couldn't win at the ballot box? Drop your prediction in the comments. Nigeria and politics is reading every single one. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening behind the scenes of 2027, hit that like button, subscribe if you are not already family, and follow this page on Facebook and Instagram, because when this case moves in court, we will be the first to bring it to you raw and unfiltered, the way every other page is too scared to. See you in the next one.